Okay. Can folks at the back hear me? Yep, great. Awesome. Thank you. Welcome everyone to the fall program of AYSO. This is the parent meeting for kids who are in U6 or U8. Okay. If your kids are not in that division, then you're probably in the wrong meeting. And then there is going to be a meeting for U10 and U12 starting at about 8 p.m. And for U4 and U5 kids, the parent meeting is on Tuesday next week. And that's not an in-person, that's fully Zoom, online only meeting. Okay, so just FYI. If you want to find out information about us, usually we all get a lot of emails, and most of the questions can be answered by just looking at our website or following us on our social media on Instagram and Facebook. So if you haven't done that, please do start following us on Facebook or Instagram, or check out our website if you need any information on the program. If you cannot find it, just post a message on Instagram or Facebook or send us an email. But first, check any of these sources for any of the questions that you might have. Okay, I want to start off by first thanking the city. So we are extremely, I would say, privileged to be living in Foster City with all the amazing parks. And Foster City Parks and Recreation make sure that they give us priority whenever we have to use these fields, especially Sea Cloud. And so I would like to offer a big thanks to the city as well as the Parks and Recreation Department. And we would not be here if not for the amazing board that we have. My name is Karthik Suryamurthy. I'm the Regional Commissioner, and you all might have already interacted with Beth, our amazing registrar, and those of you who are coaches might have interacted with Arvin and Stephen, and I'm sure you will interact with the rest of the other folks like Tracy, LD, and Anand. There are a lot of people who are working on the background, especially our division managers who make all this possible. And I just want to give a big shout out to Hiko. Hiko is somewhere here. Yes, she is the 6U boys division manager. At the end of this presentation, if you have any questions for 6U boys, please talk to Hiko. We have Janine, 6U girls division manager, and Michael, I don't think is here, but we have 8U girls division manager, Lauren. Yes, thank you. And if you have any questions, like I said, definitely reach out to them as soon as this presentation is over. And I cannot thank the volunteer coaches enough. Your kids might not have been playing if not for the volunteer coaches who have stepped up to coach your kids. They all have day jobs, and they have taken time out of their day jobs to go through coach training and got background checked and are making time to coach your kids. So I just want to give a big shout out to the coaches. Thank you. So just a little bit about AYSO. I'll go through these slides quickly. It's about 50 plus years old, started in the Los Angeles area, completely volunteer driven, and the Foster City region started in 1975. So in a couple of years, we are going to be celebrating our 50-year anniversary for Foster City AYSO. The vision and the mission, I just want to touch on a couple of key points. As you can see, the vision is to enrich children's lives. Our focus is always on the kids, and they are our highest priority. And as you can see in the mission, our program is focused on a fun family environment based on AYSO philosophies. So the focus is on fun, and we expect the family to be involved. And I will talk a little bit about how you can be involved. And then in the next slide, I will talk about the AYSO philosophies. I'll just briefly touch on the top three. The bottom three are self-explanatory. Open registration. Our registration is open to everyone. We do not discriminate in any form with regards to registration. everybody plays. So parents should keep in mind this philosophy. It means that all kids in the team have to play for at least half of the game. Even it doesn't matter how bad or how good the kid is, they cannot play for the whole game until everyone else has played at least half of the game. So just keep that in mind. That just makes sure that every kid gets an opportunity to play. Balanced teams, we make sure that the teams are balanced. And the way we do this is using last year's ratings. And we ensure that the teams are balanced so that no one team can keep winning all their games. Once in a while, we get into a situation like that, and that's just pure luck. But most of the times, 90% of the time, we make sure that the teams are balanced. So for example, if you reached out to us saying that, hey, my son or daughter wants to play in the same team as his or her friend, sometimes that's not possible because we look at the ratings, and if that is not possible, they have to play in different teams. For example, both could be very strong players, and they will end up on different teams. So those are the reasons why we cannot honor such requests. So just wanted to provide a little bit of background on that. Okay. Any questions? Feel free to interrupt me at any point of time if you have any questions. Any questions so far? Nope. Okay. We have two primary seasons, spring and fall. Some of you might have participated in spring already. Spring is mostly focused on skills development, and fall is more competitive because we have more enrollment, and your kid is usually part of a, not usually, in fall, your kid is part of a team and they play other teams. There will be weekday practices all the way from 6U to 14U, and there will be Saturday games. 10U and above will have 2 weekday practices, but for the sake of your kids right now who are in 6U and 8U, there'll be only 1 weekday practice and 1 Saturday game. Okay, I just touched on this. 1 weekday session. It starts Monday, August 21st, all the way to Friday, November 17th, and 1 Saturday session from September 9th to November 11th. And you don't have to worry about Herschel Cup for U6 and U8. That's mostly for U10 and U10 and above. All of the sessions, weekday as well as the Saturday games, will be held in Sea Cloud Park. How many of you are new to Foster City and don't know where Sea Cloud Park is? Looks like everyone knows where Sea Cloud Park is. Great. Here is a map of Sea Cloud Park. So we will be referring to the fields as S1, S2, S3, and so on and so forth. You can access this map on our website, so there's no need to take a photo or anything like that. Most of the games for U6 and U8 will be either in S3 or in S4. Okay. And there is a more detailed map over here. Again, this can be accessed via our website that talks about S3 East, S3 West, S3 Center, S1, S2 East and West, and things like that. Okay. And the reason you need to know this is your child's games will be at a specific location. So for example, if we say S3 Center, which means you go to the field on top and you go to the middle of the field, that's where S3 Center is. Any questions? Okay, just like I said, if you go to fcayso.org and you can click on this link and you will see the exact map. Okay. While I'm showing the map, with regards to parking, you should plan on parking on the street. This small parking lot gets full very quickly. As of last spring, this parking lot was still closed because of the levee construction project. So plan to park on the streets. I don't know what's the current status of this levee project area, and I don't know if it's closed still or not, but just plan to park on the streets. And I'm also letting you know that parking gets full very quickly on Saturdays and weekdays. So plan accordingly, be on time so that you give yourself enough time to park and walk from wherever you have parked to the respective field. Okay, let's talk about how 6U is going to be played. The coaches know all this and they will run these games. I'm just providing this information to you parents so that you know what to expect. So there is a coach and a player side of the field, and then there is a spectator side of the field. Please respect that. Your kids and your coach will be on one side of the field, and all you parents, if you're not coaching, you should be on the other side of the field. This is because it's as the kid, basically the kids look to the coaches for direction, and they don't want to be looking at the parents for direction. And this is how it is going to be in the older divisions too. So it's best to get started like this. So parents just be on the other side of the field. It's a short-sighted play. It's a 60-minute session. The coaches will take 35 minutes to focus on technical development, like passing the ball and other soccer skills. And there will be a 25-minute game, which will be broken into 4 quarters. So there will be 2 4-5-minute quarters and a 5-minute break, and then another 2 5-minute quarters. It's a 4v4, which means there will be some kids who will be on the side of the field because there is a max of 6 kids on the team. No headers, no punting, and no goalkeepers. So this is just FYI for you. The coaches know how to run this game. Any questions? Okay, great. 8U, pretty much the same thing. There is a spectator side, and there is a coach plus player side of the field. The only difference is this is going to be a 45-minute game, 4 10-minute periods with a 5-minute break. And the other 15 minutes, the coaches are going to focus on warming up and skills development and things like that. Again, it's 4v4, 6 max on a team, no headers, no goalkeepers. And here is where the coaches will start ensuring that no player plays the entire game until everyone has played 3 quarters, okay? Or 3 periods, right? What I mean by periods is the 10-minute period that the coach is going to break up the game into, okay? Any questions? Okay, great. Weekdays and Saturday sessions, except for the exception of U6, coaches should have communicated. If they haven't, they will, okay? And I'll get into what is special about U6. And U6 is special only for the weekday clinics. But with regards to when your weekday sessions or your Saturday games are going to be, the coaches should communicate. And if they haven't, they will. You don't need to worry about the Saturday games because they're still at least 3 weeks away. They start only on Saturday, September 9th. The weekday clinics start next week. And we are still in the process of finalizing the teams. And that's why the coaches might not have communicated or reached out to you. They should reach out to you by Sunday latest, okay? For U6, there is only one weekday session. It's going to be run by UK coaches. It's on Monday, starting Monday. It's every Monday on starting this Monday, August 21st. It's at S3 Center. So you remember the map. So it's right at the middle of the top field that I showed you. There will be 2 sessions, one for girls, one for boys. For the girls, 3:45 to 4 p.m. is the check-in. And then 4 to 4:45 is the girls' clinic. For the boys, it's 4:45 to 5 p.m. is the check-in. And 5 to 5:45 is the boys' clinic. Run completely by UK coaches. Parents must be there. There is a reason for this, because I have seen these kids. Sometimes if their parents are not there, they might start crying, they might throw a tantrum. The UK coaches are there to help them play soccer, but not necessarily when they are crying, or even, for example, if they get injured, even if it's a minor injury. So parents have to be there. So it cannot be a situation where the parents can just pick up, drop off and pick up. These are very young kids. The coaches will just wrap up after the session gets over, and you don't want to leave these kids unattended. So the parents must be there. Any questions? Yes. Yes, grandparents, a guardian, right? Whoever is responsible for that child, right? Yeah. As long as they know how to take care of that child. Yes. Sorry, 1 second. I'm recording this call. The question was, if can grandparents be there? And the answer is yes, as long as there's a guardian. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
The girls' time is very difficult if parents are working. Is there any possibility that like girls could attend the boys' clinic or boys could attend girls' clinic if they were better schedule?
That's a good question. So the question is, the 4 to 4:45 is an inconvenient time for parents who are working. Can the girls switch between the boys and vice versa? Let me get back to you on that. Okay.
Or could it be that you guys swap halfway through to be more fair?
Yeah, all those options. Let me get back to you. I'll send an email blast to all the parents. Okay, cool. Uniforms. So, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Get to attend the weekday as well as the weekend clinic, or did we actually choose that?
Yeah. So the weekday clinic is just a practice session. Okay. The Saturday session is half skills development, and the other half is actually a competitive game between one team and the other. So the weekday clinic is optional, right? And the Saturday session, which is half skills development and half game, will be run by a volunteer coach. The UK coaches will be available for supervision or help, but the UK coaches will run the weekday session completely, and it's optional for parents to attend or the kid to attend. Okay, any other questions? Okay, Foster City AYSO will provide the uniforms. So jersey, shorts, and socks will be provided. Kids will need to wear soccer cleats or sneakers. For U6 to U8, you can wear sneakers, but I would highly encourage all the kids to wear cleats so that they get used to it. And they need to wear shin guards. Regardless of whether you wear soccer cleats or sneakers, you need to wear shin guards. The kids will not be allowed to play if they don't have shin guards. Shin guards have to be worn under their socks, and the rest is pretty self-explanatory. Have the child bring a labeled water bottle, and no colored drinks or food is allowed on the turf. That's a Foster City Parks and Rec requirement. Okay. This is important. No jewelry is allowed. No watches, no earrings, no necklaces, nothing other than the uniform. If the coaches or the referees typically will inspect the kids, in this case, the coaches, the UK coaches, as well as the volunteer coach. And if they are wearing earrings or any other kind of jewelry, they will be asked to take that piece of jewelry off. So especially for kids who are getting their ears pierced, our recommendation is don't get their ears pierced just before the season, because they will be asked to remove their earrings. So, and this is the national law for the kids' safety. When I say national law, national AYSO law, and this is not negotiable. So parents, keep this in mind. Any questions? Yeah. I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, yeah. They will be forced to take their earrings off before the game. So what we have seen is they take off their earrings, they go play, and when they go back to the bench or the coach area, they put their earrings back, then they take it off. But all that is just too much logistics to manage. Right? So I would not encourage that. Okay, just an important distinction. As you are ordering your cleats, do not order baseball cleats. Baseball cleat has a toe cleat, and soccer cleats do not have a toe cleat. And make sure that you order a soccer cleat. If your child shows up in baseball cleats, he or she will not be allowed to play because it can hurt the other children. Okay, make sure that you order soccer cleats without the toe cleat. Any questions so far? Okay, we are always looking for volunteers. If any of you are interested in coaching or just being an assistant coach, please reach out to the division managers who are here, Hiko, Janine, and Lauren. but all parents are expected to be involved. There are, I mean, your coaches might have already gone over this with you. If not, they will go over this with you. There are a lot of responsibilities within a team. So like I just mentioned, coach and assistant coach, the division managers usually have already reached out to the parents and probably figured that out. But if any of you are still interested in coaching, reach out to the division managers. There is something like a team parent and a gender parent, banner parent, snack parent, photo parent. All these are, some of these are pretty self-explanatory, but I will get into what is a team parent or a gender parent. So it's very important to have a gender parent. So imagine there is a male coach coaching a completely girls team. Well, it is going to be a girls or a boys team. So imagine a male coach coaching a girls team. The requirement is that a female parent has to be there all the time during the weekday session or during the Saturday game. So if any of you basically are looking for a role, sign up for a gender parent, right? Or the other way around. You could have a female coach coaching a boys team, and then a male parent needs to be there all the time during the weekday practice session as well as during the Saturday games, okay? And this can be rotated. It doesn't have to be the same person. A team parent could be the one who is coordinating all these responsibilities. So for example, during every game, there is somebody has to bring snacks. So once again, this can be a rotating responsibility. The team parent, usually, for example, for my son's teams, we have used Shutterfly, and the team parent usually manages the Shutterfly admin, sends emails, who wants to be the gender parent for this week or this weekday session, who wants to be the banner parent. Banner parent is the parent who brings the banner. Who wants to be the snack parent, who wants to take photos and upload it to Shutterfly, and so on and so forth. Okay, so if your coach is looking for these kind of this kind of help from you all, please sign up, right? Do not be shy. These are very simple responsibilities. Any questions? Okay. We need referees. This is one of the most critical things to ensure that the season proceeds well. Why referees? So, okay. So we have our referee admin, Luis David, and he's going to take over. Yeah. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Hold on.
Hello, everyone. My name is Toby. I help with refereeing here for PD for AYSO. And the reason I wanted to talk to you is that, in particular, for our U8 category, so kids that are 7 years old, we want to have those games with referees. The reality is that at this age group, it's more like you just check tell them which direction to go.
Near the laptop because it's recording.
Okay. All right. So we want all the games to have a referee. It makes it way easier for the coaches to be able to focus on the kids when they're just focusing on their development on the game itself, rather than just telling them where to stand, where the ball is supposed to be restarting, and what's happening. This simplifies the role for the coaches. Parents and relatives were already there, and the only thing that we need to do is just put a jersey on and start and have a whistle. It's super simple. I started doing that with my son, I don't know, it was like 7 years ago, and I loved it. I continue doing it. It's actually not just parents that have to do this or can do this, also kids. Last year, my son, who now is 11, started doing this, and kids age 10 and up can do it. Him and his friends started doing it. It was so rewarding that he's coming back and actually getting more kids from his soccer team to come do it. We do want to stress that this improves the quality of the experience for the kids, having this kind of person who has the role of authority, kind of giving them guidance, and kids who do this So for example, like older siblings who do this, they're not just going to be happy doing it, they will have specific prices for them. So gift cards, referee and soccer gear, as well as a certificate of volunteering time at the end of the season, saying, pretty much giving their name, volunteer this many hours, thank you from AYSO. This helps. There's a number of schools that have a requirement for volunteering hours, or you can just start piling it up as things that your kid has done as extracurriculars. So let me just make sure that I'm not forgetting anything. Adults also can participate in the prizes that we give. It's depending on the number of games. And overall, we want for U8, for pretty much kids 7 and up, to have at least 8 of all the games. This is like 2/3 of the game with a referee. If you want to know more about this, have questions, you think that one of the parents can be there, I'll tell you back. Personal thing was just back then, we're already a 2-home family. So for me, it was better to be in the middle than on the side and making it more awkward to my son. And it worked out really well for us. Each family will have different experiences, and that's what we've seen. From last year, it was probably the most successful thing, having referees in almost every single game. Our page, fcayso.org/ref, has all the information, or just send us an email to refteam@AYSOFC. All right, that's it. Thank you.
Any questions on this? So, couple of things. One is, for U8 games, typically the coaches like to be the referee. While that's great, it's not encouraged, because the kids as well as the coaches need to get used to the fact that the coaches cannot be a referee starting at U10, right? So it's usually an independent referee. So I would highly encourage all the parents who have kids in U8, try to sign up for a referee class and try to be the referee for your child's game. Another thing, like LD mentioned, there are perks for being a youth referee. These are available to all referees, but the youth referees are the ones who get most excited by it. Every Saturday, we bring donuts, and all referees are eligible for a free food item at the snack shack. And these are amazing perks for youth referees, and they are always excited when they come in the morning to find a donut or Gatorade, something as simple as that, or a sandwich at the snack shack. And finally, this is not necessarily a perk, but it's great to see these kids in the middle of all the adults, because there are parents on one side and the coaches on the other side, trying to negotiate, basically, or not necessarily negotiate, trying to make sure that the game goes smoothly in spite of all the noise from both sides. So it's great life development skills. And so if you have an older kid, 10 and above, encourage them to be a referee. And LD is an amazing referee instructor, and we have a lot of experienced referees who partner or pair up with these youth referees so that they can learn how to be a good referee. So just a FYI. Any questions? Okay. Parents, just a quick checklist before your child leaves home. Make sure that they have the soccer uniform. We provide you with a uniform. It's best if the child wears the uniform that has been given to them, because then it helps them identify with the team that they are part of, and the game goes a lot more smoothly. So for example, if a team with green uniforms is playing a team with blue uniforms, if all of them are wearing the uniform, they all know whom to pass or which side to kick the ball. For example, if one of them shows up in a red t-shirt, then all the kids are confused. So make sure that they are always wearing the uniform that has been given to you. Make sure that they are washed the day before, and so that there is no last-minute confusion. Shin guards, like I mentioned, is a requirement. Soccer cleats or sneakers. No open-toed shoes and things like that. Water bottle. One thing is, make sure that your child uses the restroom before he or she leaves the home. Why is this important? So for example, if the coach is running a practice session for U8 kids on a Wednesday afternoon or a Wednesday evening, and suddenly one of the kids wants to go to the restroom, the coach cannot leave that child unattended. So the coach has to basically stop practice, and probably he or she cannot leave the other kids unattended also. So the whole team has to go as one single unit to the restroom, right? So just make sure that your kids have used the restroom before they leave home. Of course, if something is going to be an emergency, the coach will do whatever that needs to be done. But these are just good practices. Any questions? Okay. Like I mentioned in the initial slides, kids are our #1 priority. Fun is the focus, not necessarily winning. Parents can cheer, but don't get too disappointed about the score, or don't get too excited about the score. No swearing, smoking, or alcohol. This is the kids zone, and that's why we have these rules. Set a proper example. These are young children, and some of them are just learning to play soccer, so don't take it too seriously. The kids are looking up to you as a role model, and make sure that you respect the referees. And at the end, it's just kids playing a game. Don't get too carried away. Okay? Any questions? Okay. Same stuff. Just make sure that you pick up your children on time. A lot of times, especially at 6:45 or 7, when the coaches are wrapping up, if the parents are not here, don't force the coaches to wait around for the parents to come and pick up the children, especially for the older children. The coaches are meant to help your children play soccer. They are not babysitters. So just make sure that you pick up your kids on time. Follow the kids zone rules. Like I said, set an example. I talked about gender parents, and be present for all practices and games, especially for U6 and U8, as these are young children. As the kids get older, some of the parents drop off and pick up, but for this age group, I would highly encourage that everyone be there. Okay, UK coaches. So these are the same UK coaches who were there during spring, and I don't know if all of you were, all of your kids were enrolled in spring. So we have 2 of the UK coaches. We have Ryan and Kyle, and they did such an amazing job in spring. And the other 2 coaches are present here, but I mean, are present in the Bay Area, but they are not here right now. They did such an amazing job that we wanted them back. And yeah, so they are going to be coaching your kids. And if you guys want to say hello or say something.
Yeah, I want to have you had a great summer. Yeah, like Carter said, we're really happy to be back. So looking forward to seeing you guys in the field.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, they cover most bases. Like, yeah, we're happy to be back. Hopefully, we'll get some better looking photos this time. But yeah, no, most of it pretty simple standard stuff. Nothing too crazy.
Awesome.
We're back.
Thank you and welcome back. So these UK coaches need housing. The reason is not just these, all UK coaches. And the reason is because the UK International Soccer Program, the way it works is housing costs are not part of the program. And so they all depend on residents of the respective cities to basically host the coaches. There are perks to it. And if you can host any of these coaches, it will be awesome. These are the perks that UKIS, UK International Soccer, as well as AYSO is providing. AYSO basically is providing for every month of hosting a free season pass. What that means is, so for example, if you host a UK coach for 1 month, and let's say your child wants to enroll in spring, your enrollment fee is waived, right? So 1 season is completely waived for every month that you host. And what UKIS is doing is for every, they are basically providing a free registration for a UK camp. They run summer camps, fall camps, winter camps, spring camps, and so on and so forth. And so if, for example, if you host a coach for 2 weeks, you get 1 week UK camp free. And there is a progression, as you can see. If you host the coach for 2 months, you get 6 weeks of UK camps free. Okay. These are amazing kids. They are young, and we have only had positive experiences from the parents who had hosted them during spring. And if you all can host them during the fall, that will be great. And the most important thing, I wish Tracy was here, Tracy was the previous regional commissioner, and she hosted a bunch of UK coaches. And the biggest benefit is that your kids have an amazing soccer player in the house who can coach them every day and just for fun, and they become amazing soccer players, which happened with Tracy's kids. Thank you, Brian and Kyle. If you guys want to just take a seat. Okay, important dates. Opening day. So we are bringing back opening day. I think most of you, if you don't have older siblings, might not know what opening day is or was. So the last opening day we had was in 2019. This is a big parade on the first day of Saturday, on the first Saturday where we have games. And this year it's on 9th of September. It starts at 8 a.m. and every team is basically walked through Sea Cloud. There is a parade of all the teams. The city officials will be there, and it's a big event. And we used to have it till 2019. And of course, we didn't have it during the pandemic years, and we are bringing it back. And we are very excited to have the opening day. And just expect that all your kids, as well as the parents, are expected to be at the opening day on Saturday, September 9th. Your coaches or division managers will be reaching out to you with more details on this. Okay, these are the rest of the important dates. All these dates can be found, or these important dates can be found on our calendar. So if you just go to fcayso.org/calendar, you can see all these important dates. Silent Saturday is when coaches and parents are expected to be quiet, and the kids are basically encouraged to just play without any guidance, which means the kids will start talking to each other as to how they should play this game. And it's a great thing to watch. And the referees will enforce this, especially for the older kids, to make sure that the coaches and the parents are quiet. So we have 2 silent Saturdays on October 14th and November 4th. Okay. Any questions? Okay, moving on. Snack Shack. And so there is a Snack Shack. It's called Sugar Shack. They make some amazing sandwiches and amazing food. It's run by Latisa, who used to run a catering service before. And I have only positive things to say. It usually opens around 10 and is open till 3 p.m. or something like that. Since this is fall, air quality is important. Maybe we have been very lucky last year that we didn't have any big fires. But if you think about 2020 and 2019 and 2021, we had a lot of fires, and that can impact air quality. So we will be checking purple air. And if the air quality index is higher than 150, games will be canceled. Okay. Some of these decisions are made in real time. So for example, air quality might not be bad in the morning, but it might become worse during as the day progresses. So either look to an email from your coaches, or look for an email from me saying that the games are canceled. Okay. Or like I said, check our Facebook or Instagram page if you want real-time information. Okay. Any questions? Finally, some contact info. If you have questions, you can reach out to any of us. All our email IDs are over here, and you can send a general email to aysofostercity@gmail.com also. Last but not least, all this would not have been possible without the AYSO board, and we are always looking for volunteers. We have a lot of open positions that we are always looking for people to join our board and help us out with. We meet on the first Wednesday of every month in this building, but in the port room that is down this hallway. The time commitment for any of these roles is only up to anywhere from 4 to 6 hours. And we would really appreciate if any of you could volunteer. And that's it. I hope you and your kids have a lot of fun this season. And let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.